Welcome back to Island Life Live. Our next guest is a servant leader who has always used a creative approach in problem solving. Safety, integrity, communication, and transparency are four major tenets he follows in his professional and personal life.
Sounds like a good guy, and he is. Kazuo Todd has been with the Hawaii Fire Department since 2004, and since April 2021, he has served as its chief.
And he joins us now in our hale. Aloha Fire Chief Todd, how are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
We're excited.
Hilo boy.
Yeah, so no Big Island candies, no Two Ladies Kitchen. No, just kidding.
You just gotta put in the order and we go take care.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Mrs. Barry's cookies, go to Kona side too. But anyway.
also very, very good. Too good over there. Yeah.
It's nice to have a brief moment of levity because we know that the world has been watching. Yep. As the wildfires have devastated California, and just like Lahaina, it was a combination of fire and wind. And we hear the term red flag warnings all the time. Chief, what is that and how does it play into the spread of wildfires?
So you gotta understand, like when we have these reports that there's a red flag event, what it means is that the conditions are extremely likely to potentially roll into a really big fire. So from the public's perspective, it means we're on that knife's edge where stuff could get bad, and if it does, it can get bad very, very quickly. And one of the reasons I wanted to come and talk to you in light of California and Lahaina is to talk about, it is not as simple as 911 and calling for the fire department to come and save us. As you can see by what's happened in Lahaina and even in California right now, when it gets really, really bad, there really isn't enough firefighters that we're paying on a daily basis to respond. So it is the kuleana of all of us to be part of the solution. And as homeowners, we have to consider what we can do about our house, what we can do about our neighborhood, what we can do about our community to make ourselves safer. And that's one of the reasons I just wanted to come and, blah with you guys a little bit today and talk about how it's so important that it's all of our responsibility to address these issues.
Well, I'm glad I know you're here for a conference and you made the time to come visit us here. And, Chief, by some estimates, over 12,000 structures have been destroyed by fire in California. And, when the destruction happens, it's not just the homes, it's families being displaced, it's pictures, it's memories all, burned up into ash. And you were going that direction, but how can we sort of fireproof our homes to kind of prep for these, the unlikely event?
Yeah. So what you got to understand is generally when we have these major fires, what's causing the fire in your house, if your house is on fire, is because basically embers were raining down from the sky. It's like someone shaking a bag of lit charcoal over your house, right? And these embers get on the side of the home and they can start a fire, and that creeps into the house or things like that, right? And so there's things that we can do, which we call basically that home ignition zone, actions that we can take within that home ignition zone that would allow us to make sure our house is a little bit more likely to survive the fire. And if you look at like some of the subdivisions in California and the homes that are in there, same thing in Lahaina, you have a house that's fine and a house that was lost or a house that was lost.
Right, it skipped, right?
Yeah, well, but it is like oftentimes these homes that survived, they were built in a way, or they were maintained in such a way that they are less likely to have that fire propagate into the home. And so, coming up in February, we're having our Hawaii Wildfire Summit on the Big Island, where we're inviting the state in, but we're also doing things like home ignition zone training. And a great place to find information is the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization's website, where they talk about how you can protect your home and how you can be safer and more likely to be resilient when we have these major disasters, because they're going to happen.
Can I ask you, the home ignition training, what does that mean?
So basically it's talking about things like the screens that you're choosing to put up or the vents at the top of the eave. Plenty of us, the house in Hawaii, we like the air go in and out because it gets hot, right?
Yes.
But the vent at the top oftentimes is just open. So embers, if they're carried aloft in the wind, can go right into the attic. Ooh. So there's little things that we can do that we can fireproof or at least make our house a little bit safer. Same thing with like hurricane strapping or dealing with some of the other issues around the house to prevent earthquake damage from happening. There's steps that we can take to make our house a little bit safer for fire and just more likely to survive in one of these major conditions.
I love that.
That is such important information.
Education.
Yes, absolutely. This Wildfire Summit is open to all?
Well, generally what we're trying to do is get all the stakeholders. So for our island and from the other islands, we're grabbing those FireWise community members that are looking to be part of their community and solve the issue. We're also grabbing people from our local government agencies, from the prevention bureaus and the fire departments to your planning departments to your building departments and the members within there to talk about how we as a state collectively move forward. As you know, FSRI just released their phase 3 report today. today with the 10 top priorities for the state, as well as the counties out of the Lahaina fire and the report from there. But much in that was there needs to be conversation. There needs to be us talking, face to face about like, hey, Kauai, what you gonna do about this? And then Maui, what you guys gonna do? And then how are you gonna address this issue? And together, we're gonna be stronger.
I love that.
And that's the important thing, I think. Is so we're trying to host this summit where we can bring everyone in. We got a good rate, and the hotel has been very accommodating, and we're gonna just try to make a better, safer state of Hawaii.
I love
Beautiful.
that. Holding hands across the pipeline. Fire Chief Todd, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
We'll
so
have
much
the
for having
link
me.
if you want to attend that summit. We'll have that at kitv.com. For now, we're going to take a quick break. But before we do, again, today is International Kite Day. And, they flew these in China thousands of years
For
ago.
years.
So that's our question. Was it 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 years ago? The answer coming up right after the break, right here on Island Life Live.